Lieutenant, you know, I find this absolutely fascinating. Do you have an interesting investigation you've been involved with? We'd love to hear about something like that.
Yeah.
I think that the most interesting investigation is always the one that you're working on at the moment.
Well, you hear that? Makes sense.
By that.
That's true. Yeah, well, it's usually true, but what's so interesting about this case? It's already been solved. I thought Carl Donner was killed by burglars.
Right.
Intruders, man. At least that's the way it appeared.
You mean there's some doubt about it?
There is always room for doubt.
In this case, I would be willing to bet that the lieutenant's suspicions are very specific.
But Nadia Donner was there. She told you what happened. You doubt her story?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yes, I do have certain problems in that area, ma'am, yes.
Like what?
There was someone there last night that she didn't tell us about. That's what I wanted to talk to you about, Doctor. She mentioned herself and her husband and the two intruders. We know that there was someone else there.
Really? Well, Lieutenant, how do you know that?
May I borrow your lighter, sir?
Oh, sure.
We know that there was a smoker there. And we know that it was not Mr. or Mrs. Donner because neither of those two people smoke.
How about one of the intruders?
Yeah, right.
That's what we all thought originally, including myself. But no, it is not one of the intruders. That would be impossible.
Why?
Because according to Mrs. Donner, the two men that broke in were wearing stocking masks, and if that is so, they wouldn't have been able to smoke.
Of course.
Make it a little awkward.
Let's see.
Doctor? Doc, that's why that lie detector thing is important. Her story's getting shakier and shakier.
Oh.
Make it a little difficult.
Yeah. How would you know there was a smoker there?
Because of this flint, ma'am.
What do you mean?
Flint from a cigarette lighter. You see, this little nub of a flint had been worn down so thin that when the person used his lighter, it popped out.
But how did you know it was left there that night?
Make a very good detective.
I would.
I don't know if I mentioned this to you or not, Doctor. We know that the flint was dropped there last night. You see, no one had been in the place since Thanksgiving. On November 25th, they closed up the place for the season and brought in a professional cleaning crew, and it's been locked up ever since. I found this flint on the rug. That was a rug that had been shampooed. Doctor, would you mind if I took the cover off this?
Certainly, Lieutenant, it's your case. Do as you wish.
Extremely British tonight.
It's elementary, my dear Watson.
It's
We know the following. We know that there was a smoker there, a person who was not included in Nadia Donner's story. We know that person used his lighter, and when he used it, its flint popped out.
Right.
From these two facts, we go on to a third fact. That person is either using something else to light his cigarettes, or he put in a new flint.
Okay. Go along with that.
That's elementary, see?
yeah.
Like this one. I would say that's a fresh flint from the size of it. Doctor?
Oh, yes, I put that in myself this morning.
I know you did. Because last night out at the beach house, he lit a cigarette with a pack of matches, and he wouldn't have done that if his lighter had been working.
Yeah, but come on, Lieutenant. Surely you don't suspect Mark.
The lieutenant suspects everyone. You know, there must be a dozen reasons how that flint got on the floor. Why don't you just throw it open for discussion?
There's an idea.
Right.
You know something? I make a very good detective.
She's still in.
Really, I am.
Charles Whalen. Mr. Charles Whalen, please. Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I must have the wrong number.
Fascinating man. I mean, how did you learn to be what you are? How do you find little things like flints and little... how would you know how to look for it? You're really very bright. I mean,
Just luck.
Chuck? Hi, I'm sorry to call you so late. I told you I'd call you around 9, but I have some people over. Can we make it in the morning? Good, I'll call you first thing. You have to swim. You'll be so hot, nothing will matter except to jump into that pool. To feel that wonderful, cool, refreshing water. You like to swim, don't you? Your father loved to watch you dive? Well, tonight you'll swim again. You'll have to swim. You'll be so hot, nothing else will matter except to jump in that cool, refreshing water.
About what you were doing.
Why would I have to lie? I think
Yeah.
that's a very good
That's a good
question.
one. Yeah.
See? My husband always tells me I'm dumb.
Are you convinced that she was lying, Lieutenant?
I'm convinced of that yet. There was someone else there.
But why would she lie? I
Right.
mean, that would be silly.
And jump into the pool below your window. Your father will be watching.
Just one more thing.